DK Metcalf, Justice Hill, and Noah Fant made a lot of money at the NFL Combine. We're going to talk about it. And all that's coming up after the bump.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider it a like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today, we're going to talk about the guys who really made a lot of money at the NFL Combine. Starting with one DK, that's Decarius Metcalf, Ole Miss wide receiver. Now, this guy went viral earlier in the month of February when he took his shirt off standing next to A.J. Brown and looked like a monster. Just enormous for a wide receiver. He clocked in around 228 pounds, 6'3", and yeah, he looked a little oversized for his position, but he proved that he can carry it well. Now, you knew he was going to be strong. He put up 27 reps on bench at the Combine. That's a very healthy number for a wide receiver. And then he made all the money with his 4.33 40-yard dash. That is flat out flying, especially for a man who's as large as he is. I haven't seen arms this size on a wide receiver since Percy Harvin, and he was a lot shorter than DK Metcalf is. And he's already drawn conclusions to Megatron, Calvin Johnson, who at 6'5", 239, dropped 4.3, and absolutely blew the doors off the Combine. Coming out of Georgia Tech is not a place where you absolutely were throwing the football, but they were throwing the football to him. And with DK Metcalf, the question is this guy as good as his measurables say he is? Because he does not have a lot of film. He was injured quite a bit through his career at Ole Miss, and he came out early to the surprise of many who follow college football and the sport and saw what they were doing over there at Ole Miss. But it seems like he's made a good decision because in the meat market, in this place where it's all whimsy, wazzy, fugazi, and we have the Combine to try to suss out some of this, he is not sussing out much for anybody except that he's big, he's strong, he's fast, which is exactly what you want to play football. But there's also another crucial part to this that I'll get to a little bit later in this video, but I just want to point out Justice Hill also made quite a bit of money, reminding people of the kind of running back he was in 2017 when he was the feature back at Oklahoma State. He ran 4.4 in the 40 and then jumped 40 inches off the ground, put up a really great broad jump number as well. Know he's fast. I know he's strong. Now I think that he's up there with your man, our man, Josh Jacobs, as one of the top running backs in this draft class, and I think he did a whole lot of good for himself. I also think Noah Fant did the most of anybody at the skill positions, honestly, with a 4.5 40 at 6'4", 249. Daniel Jeremiah had this great nugget with the top 10 tight ends in the NFL last year were all about 6'4" and 7/8, so about 6'5" inches tall, and they weighed 253 pounds on average. The only one of those guys that was as fast as Noah Fant was last year is Jared Cook, who was a great tight end on a bad Oakland Raiders team, soon to be Vegas Raiders team. So I think the guy coming out of Iowa has an opportunity to go very high in the draft, and he talked about as the first tight end taken off the board. So between DK Metcalf, Justice Hill, and Noah Fant, we're talking about some guys that absolutely made some money at the Underwear Olympics, as much as you can make at these sorts of things. But I want to remind people that the reason that the Combine is important is also the reason I think that we don't need a Combine, all right? We don't need all the skills and skill position deals to go along with it for scouts that just didn't do their job during the season and were not able to see everybody that they should have been able to see. If you know what your needs are, you know who you're going to see. The Underwear Olympics are an excuse for scouts to catch up, see what they didn't get a chance to see in pads last year because they're watching their teams play. Now, I'm not interested in doing other people's work for them for free, which is the way of saying I'm not really interested in letting these players just go out there and risk getting injured so that somebody can get a better look at them unless they're going to try to make a little bit of money like these guys that I mentioned. That said, the reason the Combine was important is to document medical history. That's it. That's why it was started in 1982. It was a national invitational that brought everybody in to wonder and get on paper how bad that separated shoulder is. Did you actually blow that knee out 3 times or twice? What would it look like once you get into the NFL because you don't want to be buying damaged goods. And that part I agree with. You want to know that the body, the machine that has to do the job, is in the best shape possible, which is another reason why I think Rodney Anderson was right to show up to the NFL Combine, to let everybody have a good look at his neck, have a good look at his knee, have a good look at his legs. All three major injuries that he suffered. Same thing with Marquise Brown, who had the Liz Frank surgery. Let everybody have a good look at you and get an understanding of how healthy or not healthy you are. And again, that is why Kyler Murray was right to show up and not throw. Prove to everybody you're as tall as you know you are, 5'10", as heavy as you know you are, at about 207, and then leave it. You don't have anything to gain by throwing the ball around the yard at the NFL Combine or risking blowing out a hamstring to impress us with what we think would be a 4.340. Because if you ran that, we'd all expect you to run that, and you didn't really show anything. If you were slower than that, you probably lost money. Instead, he showed up as a guy who could go first overall in the NFL draft and left as the guy most people think is going to go overall in the NFL draft. I don't know how you can do it any better than that. And he did it without ever picking up a football to throw in a deliberate manner. My goodness, this is how you draw it up if you're negotiating and trying to jockey for position and get the most money out of your skill set. Kudos to you, Kyler Murray. All right, that's it for me. Doses.